Jessie Maye is a MILF, and as we all know, that stands for Mother into Loving Fornication. As the name implies, Jessie is in fact a mother, Tiffany's mother to be specific. Now, if you haven't watched my Tiffany video, then I highly recommend you do so now, because there's a lot of important information in that video that you will need to know in order to comprehend this video. Now, I know what you're thinking. You sick fuck. Anyway, I bring up Tiffany because her and Jessie are two characters who should always be talked about together. Being mother and daughter, the two have a major impact on each other's character, and to talk about one without the other would be missing out on a large part of the picture. In fact, most of the lore in HuniePop that we know of comes from these two characters and their past relationship, and to understand them as characters, their shared history is something you need to know. So what really happened between Jessie and Tiffany? It all started 20 years before HuniePop takes place. A young 16-year-old Jessie gives birth to the prodigal child Tiffany. Unfortunately, Jessie had no way to support her or her child while still attending high school. With presumably no father or parents willing to care enough to help her, Jessie resorted to the next best thing. Dropping out of high school and using her bangin' body to get banged by other bangin' bodies while other not-so-bangin' bodies jack off to it on the internet. Classy. Jessie's porn career took off and she made bank. Now, with enough money to support her and her child, Jessie and Tiffany lived happily ever after. Just kidding, Jessie actually spent most of her money on alcohol and cigarettes, both of which she would indulge in around her child, not really caring. All while neglecting Tiffany and getting fucked by random dudes, possibly giving Tiffany an NTR fetish. Well, at least that's my headcanon. Surprise, surprise, this bred a hatred for her mother into Tiffany. She vowed to despise everything her mother was, and she grew up to become the opposite. A sweet, friendly, smart, caring, outgoing, girl next door kind of girl. Which brings us to where we are now. In HuniePop, Jessie is a 36-year-old cougar who's refused to grow up. A selfish, manipulative whore, desperately trying to recapture her lost teenage years, unable to truly love or form any kind of emotional relationship with another human being. All the while regretting how poorly she raised Tiffany and wishing that one day they could go back to being mother and daughter. The player to Jessie is just another man to pamper her with expensive gifts and sex. On the opposite end, Tiffany is a 20-year-old honor student who gives every day her all, a cheerleader with plenty of friends and grades higher than most students. Tiffany is respected, accomplished, and succeeds in being everything her mother wasn't, a good person. The player to Tiffany is the love of her life, the person she'll have children and grow old with, but unknown to her is actually no different than her own mother. However, the story doesn't end there. At the time of this video, HuniePop 2 has yet to be released, but we know Jessie is in it, and 2 years after HuniePop has taken place, she's unloved, unwanted, and alone with Tiffany nowhere in sight. Now, this doesn't mean that Tiffany went on to live a luxurious and successful life. After all, Tiffany wasn't flawless, and who knows how she reacted to the incredibly likely possibility that the player broke up with her. She could have fallen to the same dark pit that Jessie has been stuck in for years. Like mother, like daughter. This story isn't over yet. Hopefully it has a happy ending, but only time will tell. That was kind of depressing, wasn't it? Alright, look, if you're into Jessie, you probably don't care about having a loving relationship with her, because if you do, then you're just gonna end up disappointed. Or maybe you also have an NTR fetish, I don't know. It's pretty clear that Jessie doesn't actually care for the player, and Jessie fans have to know this or else they're just deluding themselves. There's no saving Jessie, she's already too far gone. Sorry, pal. Tiffany is a different bag of juicy gummy worms entirely. Tiffany is adorable and she has a near universal appeal. Smart, cute, friendly, caring, what's not to like? She even wants to be a nurse when she grows up. How cute is that? I believe that if you got everyone in the world to play HuniePop, suicide rates would rapidly increase, but I also believe that Tiffany would be the most liked character among everyone. In short, what I'm trying to say here is that Jessie and Tiffany should have incestuous lesbian cuckold sex with the main character in HuniePop 2. Arigato gozaimasu for watching my video, fellow gamers. This is Cartoon Fucker signing off.